Hi guys. It's been a minute. It's been a good minute, man. I was hoping to have a blog up before this already, but things happen, you know. It's been an up and down week. I've had a few issues with my health, I suppose you can say. Been in and out of hospital for the last few days. I wasn't feeling great during the week. Health was just up and down this week. I wasn't feeling great. I think my blood pressure was up and down, so I just wasn't feeling good. So I went to the hospital one day in the evening. I rang up and they were like, well, the symptoms that you're describing, we think you should come in. So I called my brother had to come down and watch the kids. It was about 11 o'clock at night. It was ridiculous. And turned out that I think my blood pressure did shoot up, but it sort of regulated itself by the time I got to the hospital. But then what happened was they figured out, they done a blood test and stuff, and I was also having contractions, and so the contractions were on and off, but they were quite strong. Baby's not ready to come. I've still got a few weeks to go. But my history, I've had preterm labours before. Like one of my children came at 28 weeks, and one of them came at 31 weeks, one came at 36, but that wasn't too bad. So obviously I have a history of preterm labours, so they were quite worried. But when the results for the blood test came back, it turned out that I have like really low iron. So they were quite worried about that, and then they told me that I have to have a infusion, iron infusion, which was to go in via drip. I don't really understand the purpose of that, because they told me that, you know, my iron's low. I asked them, how long does it take to work? And they told me something like 4 to 6 weeks to go into my system, but by then I would have had the baby most likely anyway, or just about to have the baby, so I don't see what difference it makes, but they obviously know what they're talking about. So the second thing was that my what are they called again? How can I forget? My platelets, my blood platelets were low. That basically means that like if platelets are what help your blood clot. So God forbid if when I have the baby that I have a bleed afterwards, because with one of my premature babies, Samaya, when I had her, I had quite a big bleed afterwards, because my blood wasn't really clotting, which they were quite concerned about. And then obviously it's come up again in this pregnancy now, so they're worried about my platelets and stuff, so just gonna have to be monitored for that, and just a heap of things, you know. But that's how it goes when you have babies, man, especially like where it's my 7th as well. It's to be expected, to be honest. Yeah, so this week I've sort of been out of action, really, to be honest. Been in and out of the hospital. I've been trying to rest. Like right now, my family has taken all of the kids for the first time in months. I haven't got any kids in the house, and I've been taking full advantage of that, trying to rest up and just tidy up and stuff like that. But it's been really nice. They soon come back though today. I'm gonna go meet them at my nan's house, get some dinner. I don't know why, but today I feel like I really can't breathe. I feel like the baby's really up in my ribs, which is why I probably sound a bit breathless today. But yeah, the baby's just all up in my ribs today. I feel like anyway. So sorry if I sound like a whale or an elephant or something, but I feel like the baby is just really high. I don't know if you can see. I don't know, but yeah. One thing I wanted to address as well was that there was a woman, I posted up the last blog, and there was a woman who commented underneath the blog, and she was like, you know, she wanted to address the elephant in the room or whatever it was. And she started asking me, you know, about the kids. And she was asking me, saying, you know, obviously it seems like my kids have more than one dad. How did I end up having more than one baby father? Like, you know, how did I end up being a single mother to 7 kids? And obviously, yeah, that's something that I will address. But I wanted to just say in the beginning that in regards to my kids, they do have different dads, yeah, they do. It happens. But nobody wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, I want to be a single mum to 7 kids. I want to have kids by different men. Well, I hope nobody wakes up in the morning and says that, you know, but I want to have kids by different men and blah, blah, blah. So it happens, you know. So the way that my situation happens is that my oldest 4, they have different dads. That's just because of bad choices, you know, in the people that I, you know, met and fell for and whatever, been lied to and stuff like that, different things, you know, that you don't really initially expect, but life hits you with all sorts of things, you know. You just learn to deal with it, don't you? Rather than, you know, dashing away the kids, you just get on with it, and that's what I've done. As far as my kids are concerned, we're one big family. We don't look at it like she's got this dad, he's got this dad, she's got that dad, you know. We're all just one big family, and we've always been like that. They don't call each other half brother, half sister, this. They're just brother and sister. There's always been like that, and it always will be like that. My number 5, 6 and 7, they all have the same dad. We've only just recently broken up, and I mean like a few months ago. Since I've been pregnant, we've broken up. That was traumatic, to say the least. We were together for just over 2 years, and he was a good dad, but he was a good dad when he was being a good dad, but he just had issues, temper and stuff like that. And then the reason why we even broke up is because he just got physical with me one day. We had an argument, he got physical with me, and I just had enough. I was pregnant, carrying this baby, and yeah, I just had enough. And then after we broke up, after that, you know, we had to get the police involved and everything like that. It was just so much drama. Turned out he's already had another partner or whatever. So I just moved on, and I've left him to it. There are some legal things that we're going through at the moment regarding the kids, but right now he has no access to them because he's just not, you can't be trusted around them. And it sounds harsh, and you know, it sounds like, you know, I'm bad mouthing him and whatever, but I'm not. He was a good dad when he was being a good dad, but when he's not being a good dad, it's not worth the risk, basically. So yeah, so he's gone basically, and I'm just here with the kids, like doing my best, you know, as a single mum. Having 7 kids is not easy. I always say it's not easy having 7 kids, or you know, having 6 kids and being pregnant with the 7th. Like even right now, I'm having a contraction that is quite painful, but you just gotta get on with it, don't you? But I'm just hoping that, you know, these contractions subside and I don't end up going into preterm labour, because you know, that's just long. It's very long, being in and out of hospital and stuff, you know, with 6 kids and a poorly baby. It's just long. Anyway, it's going now, so it's fine. But yeah, back to what I was saying, it's not easy at all, you know. I struggle, but we get on with it. And the kids, the older kids, they're really helpful. They really help me out with the younger ones. They help me out around the house. They have their chores, you know. They do their bit. Like sometimes it's a struggle to get them to do their chores, you know. get up, can you tidy your room, can you tidy your room? You're asking them about 50 times, but eventually it does get done, which helps because then I can focus on what I have to do in the house. So yeah, so noisy down here. Where me and the father of these kids, we were engaged. We were engaged for like a short period of time, a really short period of time. So it wasn't a thing of, just, met someone and ended up getting pregnant for them or whatever. We did plan to have a future together. We had all these plans and stuff, and turns out that, it seems like I'm the only one who was serious about it. Apart from the girl who I found out he was with like a couple of days after we broke up, there was other girls, and it was just like, it seemed like it was an ongoing thing, and I was quite oblivious to it. During the course of our relationship, we went through so much ups and downs where I felt like, there wasn't like a particular person that I didn't quite take to, and I was just like, I was made to feel like I was just paranoid about this person, jealous, bitter girlfriend, and and then like it started to really mess with my head and stuff, and I started to doubt myself. My self-esteem went all the way down, and I just felt, especially while I was pregnant as well, I was struggling because I just felt like, is it me, like what am I doing wrong, or why am I so paranoid about this particular person and stuff. And it turned out in the end, after we broke up, I found out everything that I was worrying about was correct. Like, he was doing his thing with this girl and stuff like that. So I went through a lot during that relationship. I felt like I was just being mentally abused, and I didn't feel like that the whole way through. It was only towards the end that I was sort of like started to feel emotionally and mentally abused. Put aside the physical abuse that happened, but it just wasn't fair, Like, I was made to feel like I wasn't a good mom. I was made to feel like I couldn't manage, I couldn't cope, and these are the things that he was telling me, like, go and lie down and stuff. Like, if you don't lie down, then you're not going to be able to do anything. And these are times when I'm feeling okay, and I felt bad because I wasn't really able to help out a lot. So the times when I did want to help out and I had the strength to help out, I was told, you can't do it, you can't, and you're not able to do it, and you're not going to be able to look after the kids and stuff. And it started to really affect my psyche, and I didn't really realize it until it was sort of too late, and it was already in my head, and I thought I was just fully loved up and stuff like that. But it turned out it wasn't really. Like, I suppose I did love him. Well, I know I did love him, and maybe at one point he loved me, but at some point it just switched, and it turned into something else that was quite toxic and deadly. So what I've had to do now is just rebuild my life, basically. I've had to build myself back up, my self-esteem, my confidence and stuff. I had to, I've started up these businesses and stuff just to continue to build myself and my empire, me and my children's empire up. Because if I continue to let this boy, oh my gosh, I'm sweating so bad. If I continue to let this guy, bring me down and tear me down constantly, I don't think I would last very long, There was times even last year where I just was like, I just can't, but I felt like, I literally felt like I couldn't go on, basically. The mental abuse was just too much for me, and I just went crazy, and I just had to pull myself back up out of that, So this year is a brand new year, brand new start for me. So so I'm just getting on with life, really. But for the people who are wondering what happened, that's what happened, basically. That is what happened. We were together for over 2.5 years. We had 3 babies together, but obviously he had other plans. So, and as per usual, the mother is the one who has to pick up the pieces. He may say, oh, you're stopping me from seeing my kids and stuff, but it wasn't me that stopped him from seeing his kids. he stopped himself from seeing his own kids by his own actions. So that's just a consequence that he's going to have to deal with, and of course it's a consequence that I'm going to have to deal with, because I'm the one that has to look after them day in, day out, and you know, as well as getting ready to have this baby. So I have been a bit secretive about what this baby is and what sex it is. I'm thinking maybe I may do a little like gender reveal at some point, so but like before I have the baby, just to inform you guys of what's going on. I'm thinking about it, I'm not promising. I also am thinking about whether to do a birth vlog, a labour and delivery vlog. I'm not sure, I might, but I'm not too sure. I think I might, but I might not be so as graphic as some of these other vloggers on YouTube are. But I might take you guys on the journey with me, but it depends on, you know, who's around and whether things are really hectic, because I labour quite quickly. The last baby that I had, Elijah, I had this what's called a sweep, which is obviously like just helping to induce the labour. And from when they done that, it was 1 hour to another hour. So it basically took me 1 hour to have the baby. So it was quite fast paced. So if things are not so hectic this time, or if there's someone around who can, you know, help with the camera and stuff, then I may do it. And if I don't get to do it, then I will do a birth story afterwards, and obviously introduce you to the baby and stuff like that. So yeah, but I can't think of, well, I can think of other things that I'd like to talk about, but I'm literally just too hot. I'm baking outside and baking by this window, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. I will be back. I think maybe I'll do more of these shorter vlogs where I'm just sitting and having conversations with you guys, and then I'll upload like the longer videos as and when I can, because obviously I'm not sure exactly what's going on with this baby, whether it's coming out, or you know, or if I'm going to be in and out of hospital and stuff like that. So just bear with me, guys. I mean, I'm doing my very, very best managing the 2 businesses and, you know, trying to get ready to have baby and stuff like that. So just bear with me. I will do my very best to update you guys as and when I can, yeah. But for now, I will say peace out before I sweat and melt into a little brown puddle on this chair. But yeah, I love you guys. Stay tuned, you know, subscribe if you haven't already, like the post, hit the bell notification so that you can be notified of when I post. So yeah, but don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Love you guys.